lovelies, my name is Allure, but you can call me Laura Lee, and you're watching my YouTube channel. So I've been sitting and reminiscing because I graduated college and I don't know, it just feels weird, like there's no more next semester, like it's crazy. But now I'm about to show you all the paintings I was able to do while I was at Howard from the very beginning to up until I graduated. So let's go.
Anything you could do, I could do better. I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do anything better than you.
You know.
Better than you.
You know.
One of the first paintings that I did was this one. It's called Planted. It was one of the first paintings I did sophomore year because I had brought some of my painting stuff and I was bored in my dorm one day, so I was like, you know, I might as well. I just feel like I paint how I feel in the moment. I was kind of at peace. I was like, I'm at Howard. I really wanted to go here. I've been wanting to go here for most of my life, and you know, I just felt very grounded at the moment. And so this is kind of what that is. Another painting I did before I realized I could do painting classes at Howard was this one. It's called Play With My Heart, and it basically goes through a cycle of like the hands like coming down and it gives it to somebody else, and then just like ways that a heart can be manipulated, whether it's in like romantically, a friendship, familial, like any certain way that another person can either nurture or manipulate or harm your heart. So that's why it has like, you know, you can gift it to another person, you can trust somebody else, but they can also like manipulate it kind of like a puppet, or you know, just literally like just squeeze the life out of it, or even until there's nothing left but dust or what used to be a heart. The summer between my sophomore and junior year, I painted this. This painting is called Broken Mold. I was struggling a lot with like my physical image at the time, and so this is what came of it. I actually compiled like a lot of different Pinterest boards that I saw to kind of get the feel that I wanted, and then a lot of this stuff on this desk is things that you can find in my room. I tend to paint myself a lot. It's something I realized even from the very first painting. It's girls who look like me, and sometimes it really is me. Whether I intend it or not, I paint when I'm experiencing a range of emotions and when they're really strong, especially when I first started painting again, because it was just an outlet. But then at that point I realized I can take classes, like I can get better at this, and so I had my very first painting one class. This was also around the time I was switching majors, so it was kind of a lot. The painting classes are pretty long at Howard. They range from sometimes like an hour and a half to up to 3 hours, and there's probably even longer ones. From there, my actual class started. The first painting was like a monochromatic one, like just using one color for the majority of the painting. And so again, I was in my sad girl era. Ooh. And still am, still working through it, but I had an idea. I love Melanie Martinez. I've been seeing those birthday posts of girls who like have like the clown makeup and it's like tears, and they like have the cake and it's like a sad, like it's like it's pity, it's a pity party. And I've been seeing those like photo shoots and things like that, and I was like, oh, I want to paint that. So I made this painting. It's called Pity Party. I actually have keychains of it. And I love those heart cakes. I've always loved the heart cakes because I love hearts. That's something you'll see in a lot of my paintings. I love hearts, whether it's anatomical. I can't speak. Oh my goodness, I wish I spoke English. It's anatomical hearts or just the fake hearts or whatever. I love hearts. I love love. I love love. Yeah, I love love. I love the different blues I was able to use, and the like the face, the eyes. Yeah, I was loving it. From there, we had to experiment with like contrasting colors, which I hate this painting. When I originally created it, I wanted it to be like a fairy world, and then I just lost motivation for it because it's just be like she lives inside this pumpkin, like she has a house and whatnot. That's the fairy girl on top, and it was close to November and Halloween, so I wanted something in that theme. Like it's supposed to be a signpost to show how small it is. And evil. I don't even know why I had an evil apple. Like none of it made sense. I don't think I ever turned this in officially. I was like, I hate it, and she accepted that. My final painting was the biggest I think I did all 4 years. So I'm gonna have to back up for this one. This is like the culmination of everything I was feeling at the time. You don't feel good enough. I feel like I'm very hard on myself. I'm a perfectionist. I wrote a poem to go with this one. You can read it on my portfolio website. But this one's called Unlovable, and then like a colon blooming. And so this is what it looks like. It's supposed to be a pointillism piece, so I used dots. I love gold, I love hearts. You can't really 100% see, but in there, in the ribcage, is a heart. That's what the red part is. And then she has a bunch of flowers growing out of her, and she's just reaching up to the sky. And it's definitely not like perspective-wise the best, but I don't know, I was really feeling this piece. And the flowers just coming out of her skin, the vines that are squeezing into her arms, and it just is kind of like suffocating. And then the next semester I had Professor Anderson, and he is the sweetest professor ever. They were renaming the School of Fine Arts into the Chadwick Boseman College of Fine Arts. And so our first real assignment that semester was to paint Chadwick Boseman, which was really scary for me because I don't do realism. I like surrealistic stuff. So I painted him. I also did like a bluish purple because I was thinking like regal. I love purple. I was thinking like royalty, and it was Black Panther based. But this is my Chadwick Boseman. His speech where he was talking and accepting, I think, an award, and he was saying like to be young, gifted, and black. I think that stayed with me since I've heard it. Originally I had wrote to be young, gifted, and black like in the background behind this purple, but then I painted over it because I didn't like it, and I did it in white marker, to be young, gifted, and black in the corner. And again, a lot of people didn't like the composition, but I liked it, so at the end of the day it don't matter. Next painting I did was I feel like I'm good at sad painting. This painting is called Kismet, and it's about like fate. I don't know if I necessarily believe like your fate is set in stone or there's things you can't change, but I'll just let you see it. It's a puppet. She's being controlled by these hands, and these red are like the red strings of fate. I like tropes. I like reading. Originally, I was gonna put an open like compartment where her heart would go, and then have the heart like on the ground over there. But I wasn't really feeling the composition. Like I should have pushed it back some if I was gonna do that. So instead, I added the cracking that I used in my other paintings, and it's in the hands. This one I think is my absolute favorite painting I've done because I feel as though this is when I was kind of like coming back around and feeling more like myself. It's much happier than my other paintings. I was inspired by flying in a plane for the very first few times. I'd never flown in a plane until the summer before my sophomore year, and we had gone to Florida, and that was the first time I'd ever been in a plane. So this is kind of me looking out the window and just realizing how big the world is. But I loved how the topography and like the land looked from above, and how you can see the patches of the different type of soils and land. But the picnic was just me being at peace and reading again, and I have this heart basket. The painting's called Head in the Clouds, and I think I was just super ecstatic about everything that I was doing. I was getting back into acting at this time. I was painting again. I was just super happy. And so my head was in the clouds because I was enjoying life. Okay, my senior year fall semester, I was absolutely crazy because I decided to take multiple painting classes at the same time. And so I was literally in painting classes from I think 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. This is figure painting. Our first assignment was to paint some hands. This one's called Please Love Me. It has like the withering flowers, has a heart cloud. It's just so pathetic and yeah, beautiful. This one was from Painting 3 Mixed Media. I don't know if I like it. This class we actually had to have a theme and like do a write-up and all that, and I was like, okay. But we had a theme for the whole semester. My theme was like a thin line, or a thin line between love and hate. And this picture itself is called a thin line. Originally I had gotten, because it's mixed media, so I wanted to experiment with stuff. I forgot what the term is called, but it's like 3D glasses when you look at something and one side pops out because it's blue and the other side doesn't. But I didn't do it correctly, so I just pivoted and I used clay instead. I also did some needle slash thread work with the bow and arrow and pitchfork and the halo. The next one, it's a two-parter. This is also for mixed media. This is called To Be Loved. It's a girl like holding some flowers close to her heart, but the flowers are hearts. And this one, I was experimenting with adding other colors other than brown into like the hands and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I actually loved it. And this has, again, I love my tropes. I have the red string of fate in this one. The red string connected to the other painting that's about to be shown, and since it's mixed media, the red string's my mixed media, as well as these 3D hearts that are fabric in the bouquet. And then I also added some color to her hair, and I was inspired by this girl named Celeste in my class, because she did this beautiful painting of her aunt, and it had like all these vibrant like reds, yellows, and like different colors in the hair, and I was like, yeah, I'm stealing that. I told her, so she knows. So it's no secret. So these two paintings are connected by this red string of fate. And in this painting right here, this one's called To Be Hated, and I wanted it to be like explosive and big. That's why the background's like that, and just to show like the exact moment where this heart is broken and ripped into two. This one's actually called Grounded. I know my first one I said was called Planted, and it was about being grounded. This one is called Grounded, and it's just fully immersing myself into it. A lot of my backgrounds are just one solid color, and sometimes I have clouds or like little pieces in the background. For this one, I really wanted to experiment with creating a room and creating an ambiance that kind of gives into the painting. So this one's a lot. It is a lot. I understand that. I wanted to do stained glass windows, so I used a lot of acrylic and water, and then it has a gold outline, a lot of cool different planters, wall art. I love moons, love moons. I love the contrast between moons and suns as well. So yes, those are all my paintings from my time at Howard. Maybe in my next video I'll do like what to expect when going into painting classes at Howard. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it. I hope you took something away from my artwork. I work really hard on it, and I really pour myself into my work, so I hope you enjoy it. If you want to support my artwork, or you love something just so much that you have to have it, you can check out my shop and you can get a print, or I have a bunch of keychains and just little stuff like that. Super cheap. Feel free to check it out, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, my lovelies.